that kept our country and this country safe and free. We stand here today in the Veterans Cemetery in Labagan, Cebu City, Cebu, Philippines. We pay respect to the elders past, present, and emerging. Today we are honored to be here to share on this day of reflection and remembrance. We get together to also remember those people that have gone to war and survived. At 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month, we observe a moment of silence where we will reflect on the enormous sacrifices made for our great country, the Philippines, and the rest of the world of the lifestyle we now enjoy. For some of us, we have not had the experience of war. Remembrance Day on the surface may feel like any other day. Walking the dog, meeting up with friends, family, a cookout, and everyday living to enjoy the freedom that was bestowed upon us. On this day, we can't help but thinking that those that served must have just been like us when they were 17 or just a few years older. Millions have lost their lives during the war. Many thousands more were wounded in body or in mind. They paid the ultimate sacrifice for their country in battle. The dead lay here in cemeteries and in unmarked graves around the world. For many of us today, it is about remembering our great-grandfathers, great-grandmothers, grandfathers, grandmothers, fathers, and mothers who fought in World War I. Joy is neither universal or unqualified. Too many have died, too many more wounded, or made ill by their war sacrifice. Whether they have been an infantryman, a tank crew member, an air crew member, a doctor, a nurse, or an ordinary citizen that took up arms to make a world a better and safer place. Nearly every community knew the pain of losing fondly remembered men and women. Around the world, monuments and memorials were erected to honor those that have served and died for freedom. Any veteran who has shared his or his story of their time in service during war, of what it meant to them. I think of all the civilians and militaries that have fought for freedom. We feel sorry for the people that have died or were injured during times of war. We also feel sorry for the families of the young men and women who didn't come back from war. We do feel grateful of what they did because we get to live in a country of peace. I recount a story I have read from 2004 of a 93-year-old man on his journey to Cebucity, a Nazi extermination camp, in June of 1943. His name was James Shivas. There he stood, fragile but unbroken, in a full but utterly silent church. He spoke of the transportation of 62 people in a single railway wagon. He spoke about the barrel on the floor, the rain that splattered through the gaps of the railroad car, about the hunger, the exhaustion, the filth. He spoke about about the hunger, exhaustion, and filth. He recalled the soldiers who ripped the watches off their wrists upon their arrival, and how he lost his wife among the chaos and to never see her again. Which normal human being could have imagined this? He then asked. How could the world allow such atrocities of honest citizens to be treated like vermin? He questioned, lingered amongst the pillars of the church, a question that could never be answered. So as I stand here today and reflect on these things, I can clearly appreciate my blessed life in a safe country. Why? Our ancestors fought for the freedom we enjoy today. They fought and died under their country flag. Some of us cannot imagine what it would be like to send a father, mother, uncle, grandparent, or brother or sister to war, knowing that they may never come home. War is terrible and cruel. It destroys countries, families, and individuals. If we had one wish, we would wish that war would stop because people deserve to live in a safe environment. If we could say something to one of our soldiers that died at war, we would say, thank you very much for your sacrifice. Please let me introduce PFP President, Mr. Fabiano. Thank you.